I had supposed to have a quick meeting with my boss this week, just a random one, and he put it on my Google Calendar as Dan X Sean Rabbit.
Whoa.
I didn't know when it was supposed to be or what it was about, so it just popped up, and I was just like, what the fuck is a rabbit? Why would it be on my calendar? And it's just like, is this a joke? Is this I don't know what? Before I had that meeting, clicking through some news articles and bullshit, there was something about that rapper Bad Bunny, because he's like blowing up this year or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's coincidental. And then my boss, me and my boss had a talk, and he's like, oh, I called it a rabbit because it's a quick meeting.
Oh. He's got a real sense of humor, this guy.
Yeah, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
But then that was also when it was just like, all right, Sean, you got a story? And I was like, fuck, I forgot about everything. This week's been sucking my dick. I clicked through a couple things, and of course, I end up finding a story having to do with our friendly furry friends, the rabbits.
Excellent.
Oh. So, just can we be clear though? There was no bunny at this meeting.
There's absolutely no rabbit that showed up at this meeting. That's what I'm gathering.
I can't say how disappointed I am by that.
To be fair, my boss was wearing the Louise bunny hat from Bob's Burgers.
No.
Okay. That's something.
That's very cool. Good for your boss.
Yeah.
He did something with it.
Yeah. Maybe he could be on the podcast. He sounds like a real fucking joker.
Hey, all right.
Take your job seriously.
I like this guy. So let me hit this weed.
Do it so we can record it. I hear it.
Yeah, go right up to the mic.
There we go.
Our friend Sean maybe has something beautiful for us to hear tonight.
Man, that's a weird segue.
That was the weirdest segue I could do.
It's a needed segue.
Very forced segue. Ugh.
Thank you. Justin got my back on that. Yeah, that was the worst. I apologize, but not that much. Just a tiny bit.
How about we just make a podcast? Sean, what's the story? Give us an intro.
Yes.
With a couple of things to bear in mind. I would never want to point anything to current climates, because this is a nice escapism for everyone. So I'll just leave the mind to wander on its own. But I would like to start out with not my main leading character tonight, but definitely a strong side character had a quote that I would like to quote him on. His name was John Mowbray. This is a side character, but he, like I said, just had a very nice, interesting thing to say. He was one of the first very famous London man midwives. A group of men who would be midwives because of this. What he said in his book, The Female Physician. Men, being better versed in anatomy, better acquainted with physical helps, and commonly endued with greater presence of mind, have been always found readier or discreeter to devise something new and to give quicker relief in cases of difficult or preternatural births than common midwives generally understand.
Wow.
So that's some what is it? Is it the 1700s? Is that 17th century or is that 18th century?
18th century.
18th century.
18th century.
I think I know what story you're about to tell.
I hope you do. I really hope you do. So yeah, this is some 18th century jib-jabbery of men thinking that they're so great and wonderful, and then they're fucking horribly stupid and wrong. And as a cutaway poem of after effects, most true it is, I dare to say, e'er since the days of Eve, the weakest woman sometimes may the wisest man deceive. So tonight I would like to introduce to you guys my lady Mary Toft, born in 1701. Didn't do too much, but she's known as a lady who gave birth to rabbits.
Yes, I do know this story. I'm pumped about this story.
Oh,
story.
Here we go.
Yeah, baby.
Okay.
Don't know if I want to go down this road.
For this ridiculous rabbit hole that we're going down tonight, I have my fabulous friends and cohorts going around the board here. I got, a natural predator, Big Cat. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. As a man who's delivered many babies, knows much of the male anatomy. God, this is right up my alley. Delivered a lot of rabbit babies, if you would.
That's
A lot of rabbit
That's
bait.
true.
We won't.
Very common.
Mm-hmm. Super common.
Fuzzy handful.
Definitely. I just deliver them by the bunches. I have a whole rabbit colony.
By the burrow, even.
By the burrow.
My next fellow host and loveliest man of all, Jay Money. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm feeling really good. I'm so pumped about this story. I think I read about it once. I was gonna do it, but then I just kind of tossed it off. But I'm so glad someone else is doing it. I'm pumped for this story, man.
Oh, great. Good. It's going to be powerful. It's running on fast legs, just like my next friend here. KY Jelly, how are you?
KY Jelly, the fastest legs in the.
It's they're long, they're lean, and they're fast. They're quick. Mainly when I'm scared. Yeah, I am casting from my new podcast box that I built myself, the tiny studio. Just for anyone listening. So if it comes a clattering, then you will know instead of a podcast box, I have built my own coffin.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He will be
Yes.
dead. He will make no more appearances on this podcast. Should it come down? Yeah.
Should it come down? But we'll keep it in. We'll include it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some context, KY records in a basement where the heater turns on. In an effort to block it out, he's created this contraption that looks good.
It does. It looks good. It looks like a professional death trap. Do you know what I mean? It looks like a professional death trap.
Yeah.
All right, well, going to other well-made works of craftsmanship and manlyhood. Last but not least, our man Connor, Conman, the coat rack. How you doing?
My mind is a wandering at this story. It's going places. Please tell me this was the inspiration for the magic trick of pulling rabbits out of hats.
I would like to think so. God, I mean, you don't see where it comes from, and then when you find out later on, you're real disappointed. This nice lady, Mary Toft, was actually born Mary Diner. Like I said, not too much going on. Born in 1701, lived a fairly normal life. In 1720, at the age of 19, she got married to a guy named Joshua Toft, who was a journeyman clothier. He traveled around with cloths and such, you know. Yes.
Traveling cloth man. Yeah.
Textile man. Just a classic textile boy. Oh yeah.
I think so. Yeah. So they got together. They had 3 kids, and she's mostly just stay-at-home mom, raising the kids, having kids, stuff like that, keeping the home. Had 3 kids. Pops is still out and about on the streets. She gets pregnant a 4th time. This time it wasn't so great. It's not too far in. She complained of painful complications.
And it was a rabbit.
And no.
not
Hold
a
on, baby. Hold on. You're going too quick here.
Okay.
Going too quick. So the couple of things I found were like cuts of like clips from oldie times news articles. So I found a fun word. She ingested several pieces of flesh. The best closest terminology to egested, E-G-E-S-T-E-D, is discharged. Never heard that word before, and I was like, wow, I feel like that sounds nicer. They should have kept egested instead of discharge.
Well, it's close to gestation, right? So
Yeah, I can be more.
Is
down
it the
with that.
opposite of ingest?
Yeah, stuff came out. Yeah, there was some stuff that came out.
I have a question, Mr. Sean. Where did it come out?
It came out of her hoo-hoo hole, where babies are supposed to come out of.
Thanks, Coach Steve. I appreciate it.
Coach Steve.
Keeping it happy for everyone. No. Like she was to not have as much funniness going on. She was starting to have a miscarriage, but it was really funky. Like it wasn't just a child and something had passed and it was coming out not living. She passed lumps of flesh, one of which almost looked like a human arm, like not a baby arm, like a woman, human, adult arm.
What?
Funky, fleshy, smaller, but trying to be the size of like a woman's arm. Diminutive, but still.
We feel like we have like a Terrare situation happening.
Yeah.
It's even more than that. There's actually a point here where it almost touches one of my earlier stories. But but it's this thing where it's like just lumps of flesh. No one really knows what the fuck's going on. Everyone just assumes, okay, it's a miscarriage. This isn't a child she's having. This really sucks, but she's still alive. The lumps of flesh are gone. Everything's okay. We're okay. It was only probably about a few weeks later, the local midwife at the time, not the other guy I mentioned earlier, just the local guy, came back because she was complaining of more pains, and she ended up passing, or I should say, delivering some random rabbit parts. Not even a full rabbit, just some random rabbit parts.
Interesting.
With fur?
Some with fur. There was even like, because it wasn't just rabbit parts either. There was like a part that looked like a cat liver, a bit of like rabbit. Oh, fuck, where did it just go?
Was there a jackalope in there? Tell me she
Yeah.
gave birth to a fucking jackalope.
I was about
Jackalope.
to say this is a cat rabbit. There must be a jackalope.
You could
in there.
make a jackalope by the end because there were at least 15 deliveries all said and done.
Wow.
Of different rabbit parts, sometimes full rabbits, sometimes cat parts, and at one point something that looked like it might have come out of a hog.
Ooh. Whoa.
Whoopsie.
So
Whoopsie.
she's getting pregnant and then birthing these animal body parts.
I have always hated bestiality. And this is exactly like, you know
This
what
is
I mean?
why.
This is why. This is why.
These are the consequences. This is the consequence.
Stop fucking hogs.
Stop fucking hogs. Don't fuck the rabbits.
No one said that she was fucking animals. We weren't going down the bestiality road here. There was no.
But I just want to make a firm stance. This podcast, we are trying to advocate to stop. That's one of our objectives. This
It's
is
true.
a PSA more or less than.
We certainly report on it enough.
Oh yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Now, I have one clarifying question, Sean. So, the midwife was, they saw this happen, or she provided like a tub and said, "Hey, this came out of me,"
No, midwife is there,
pulling it out.
hands in.
Okay, so yeah. So I just need visual on this. Give me the Christopher Nolan imagery here of these animals are just flowing out of this woman's body as she's giving birth.
Well, the one of the first time or two, it's mostly just her, her mother-in-law, and this midwife guy.
Okay.
And all pictures that I can share later definitely show a man with his hands up under the blanket near her hoo-ha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he is just doing up it's a rabbit, up it's a boar, up.
So this isn't bestiality because it touches back on an older story of mine. If anyone would like to go back and listen to the Stephen Bobrowski episode about a man with way too much hair, we believe the cause of that was maternal impression, where just a couple of weeks before the original miscarriage of this fourth child, the mother was in the fields working, because even at that time, pregnant, you were in the fields working. They saw a rabbit, and being poor and destitute, were like, we're gonna fucking catch that rabbit because we need it. Her, like, friend, family, people there were like, we're gonna eat it. She just wanted to love the bunny. And as the times turned, everyone assumed that she had grown attached to seeing that bunny and wanting to love the bunny, and the maternal impression set in, and now she's birthing mostly rabbit parts, but other.
Okay, so we got to back up on this just so we understand maternal impressions for our listeners. It is as batshit crazy as it sounds, where you see these items, and therefore you grow attached to them, you love them, and as a result, your body changes the DNA of the species of which you are growing in your body as a pregnant person to whatever you loved outside.
Science.
It is,
It's
and
just
honestly,
science.
it is science. It is science, and I wouldn't say I don't want to give too much away. On the next episode of this podcast, we're gonna have Insane Clown Posse. They're gonna explain the science behind this one and magnets.
They have a really strong documentary about magnets.
Magnets mostly. They're gonna talk for 20 minutes about magnets. Yeah, definitely.
Well, they're asking really, how do they work?
Mhm.
And they're exploring that possibility.
We have all the science experts on this show.
I don't want to lose the opportunity for a plug. Sean mentioned before, if you like the idea of impressions, animalistic impressions on people,
Maternal impressions.
Animals acting like people.
Yeah.
Never mind. I won't do it.
Say, we're shoehorning all kinds of shit in here tonight.
I just wanted to give a plug.
This is our other podcast, America's Funniest Home Videos. Here we go.
You could definitely find any of our old America's Funniest Home videos about strange animal things with people on, anywhere you can find podcasts specifically, though,
Our website.
Website, lesserknownpeople.com.
We're putting it out there. We're putting out the maternal
We
impressions
are not
tonight.
all about maternal impressions,
Oh
but
my
I tell
God.
you, people, we're good though. We're good on what we've done in the past. We know that this is not real. This is phooey science.
Do not flirt with pregnant women, with pregnant rabbits, any of that. Don't do them.
Pregnant rabbits.
None of that shit. You don't know what's gonna come out. You don't know. What's gonna come
They
out.
turn little tiny human rabbit babies. That's exactly right.
Well said.
This is all.
So spinning it back around to watching these things come out of a woman's vagina, there is this guy's been a midwife for over 30 years. He's considered local health authority, at least as far as, helping ladies give birth to babies. He is multiple times at this lady's house watching things come out of her vagina that don't make sense. They do not make sense. What is this stuff? Get out of here. Come on. Let's lay down.
Can we leave that in?
Oh man, we got to. Some goddamn
She might
dog
be eating
drama on
something
this
that
show.
came out of a woman. I don't know.
That's right. Right back in it. We're to it.
The thing is, don't flirt with that dog behind you because she'll give birth to a little Sean. Do you know what I mean? That's how it works. That's the science behind it.
I don't know. You stretch that out one more extenuation of the equation. Now Sean's fucking a dog.
Yeah, we're back at bestiality. We're right back at
We're right
bestiality.
back at bestiality. Well, that's the thing. You don't actually. It's you fuck their mind, not their body, and that's how it works.
You fuck your dog's mind. I don't know. Somehow it's still equally gross.
Yeah. Small Kevin is looking at me right now.
Yeah.
Don't try it, bro. Don't fucking look at me, dude.
I'm not advocating for this.
This is over the course of 2 or 3 days. He's going home at night, coming back the next day, helping her deliver and give birth to more body parts. 3 legs of a cat of a tabby color, 1 leg of a rabbit spelled with an E. That's the way they did it in those days. This is like, the sick of it. The guts were as a cat's, and in them were 3 pieces of the backbone of an eel. The cat's feet supposed were formed in her imagination from a cat she was fond of that slept on the bed at night. There's just maternal impression. This dude, he's like one of the... Boom, everyone's got maternal impression. You got a cat, you like a cat, give birth to a cat. There you go.
All the animals she saw on the way to the hospital to give birth: rabbit, eel, cat.
Well, so there's more on that in a moment.
Sean, from your little impression, I just get the feeling this guy is like, and nothing else built into this, is like kind of a Cosby character of like, zippity bap bap, cat on your bed, cat in the pussy. Here we go. Okay now.
And then the cat said, J to the E to the...
But this guy is just fucking Zatarans himself into this woman's vagina with fucking cat legs and eel shit. It's just like...
She found the guy, right? Because she's giving birth to every fucking crazy animal she sees. And this guy is just like, bring it on. Here we go. Maternal impressions.
Yeah.
That's what I fucking do.
There was an eel in the pond where you dipped your toe the other day. You got an eel in your pussy now. That's how it works.
And now you got a whole fridge full of Jello pops. You know what I'm saying?
J to the E to the L L O J.
So, needless to say, you are all absolutely correct. This guy, I suppose I should give him his name. John Howard. He wanted to definitely make a name for himself, so he started passing word up. He's hitting the local news. He's trying to send it up with the whole, like, aristocratic, medical society, Britain, all that jazz. So actually, this is the time of the reign of King George I. He was the last British king until a prime minister was made, and actually the first prime minister came about during his last year and was like, "You're a bad, weird king. we got a prime minister now. He's gonna start helping shit go right. Okay.
That's how the British would phrase it, though. You're like a bad, weird king, so.
Yeah, we're
gonna move on, though. Thank you so much.
It's fine. I mean, he was like, I don't know if anyone knew it, but it was like within his last year of life. They were just like, yeah, whoa. All right, let's get this prime minister in here. This guy, he ain't doing so great. Kind of bad and weird and stuff. And, maybe that has something to do. When he did die, he was actually going back to his native country of Hanover, and because he died on that trip, he got buried outside of the United Kingdom, and he was the last royalty of Britain to be buried outside of the United Kingdom.
Wow.
So maybe those whispers, maybe that was real. Maybe they didn't want him around.
They didn't. Yeah. Well, you give enough maternal impressions in your lifetime, and they're just like, he is a bad king, isn't he? He's a bad king.
Well, he wanted to know. He wanted to know about this fucking lady giving birth to rabbits and shit.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
respect.
This is before the prime minister thing came about. He's still just the whole main powerful force of Britain. He's the king. He calls upon where'd it go? The surgeon to the royal household, his dude, Nathaniel St. Andre. He's like, dude, go check this out. We got this, like, dude midwife person saying that this lady's popping out rabbit parts all the time. So, he was, of course, at first like, this can't be real. No one's gonna believe this shit. This is just like some tabloid.
Like a logical, insane person.
Yep. So, he goes there. His first trip, there's no delivery, so he's just checking things out in a jar. He's like, oh, the fuck? Look at that shit. And he basically goes back. He's actually already a believer. All he needed was to see the things in the jar. I mean, literally, this lady, her mother-in-law, and this like local midwife dude were all like, that shit came out of her puss. It's real. It's in a jar now. You're looking at it. It came out of her.
I just love how dumb people were. I don't know. Just brilliant.
It's just, this guy who's supposed to be the bee's knees, end all be all of medical professionals, like, oh my god, you guys have vagina covered rabbit parts? I'm a believer. It's got to be fact. It's happened. This happened. This is real.
I've read about it many
I'm
times.
telling this really good king. I'm telling this guy everything I know about this. This is good. He's gonna believe it.
I'm gonna go tell the king because we love him, and I tell him all about the maternal impressions that go on in this town. That's what I do.
So he definitely was a believer. He wanted to push some stuff around it and get more involved. So there are like multiple they're not all like royal surgeons. He's like one of the main royal surgeons, but there's a lot of prominent surgeons of Britain and the area of the United Kingdoms of the time getting involved in this now. He wanted to get more people involved, and so that wasn't actually even St. Andre. This is still that main dude who wanted to come up, the local midwife guy. He wrote a letter going out to the scientific world after the royal surgeon came through to check things out. He wrote a letter out, a short narrative of an extraordinary deliverer of rabbits. And again, it's spelled Rabbets. Why did we change things? Why did they spell things like that back in the day? I don't know. Really don't. Rabbits.
English went through a major shift there, but then also when to differentiate ourselves actually from the British. So when America
don't use logic, Ryan. Come on, dude.
I'm just throwing. Look, I know all the maternal impressions are going on right now, and I don't want you guys to get pregnant from me. I'm just saying, using my big old brain over here.
It's too late, buddy.
That's right. You stared into my eyes too long this morning. It's already done.
That's right. I'm gonna give birth to a beautiful tiny cougar, little big cat,
little cat. Yeah.
Meow meow meow.
Mine's gonna be a minx.
For our listeners, Sean's eyebrows definitely did the thing that you think they did.
They did exactly what you were anticipating.
So anyway, this guy wrote his letter and
it was a fun little letter, so I wanted to read it because it's literally just like one little 2 sentences that are a bit longer. Since I wrote to you, I have taken or delivered the poor woman of 3 more rabbits, all 3 half grown, one of them a dun rabbit. The last leaped 23 hours in the uterus before it died. As soon as the 11th rabbit was taken away, up leaped the 12th rabbit, which is now a leaping. If you have any curious person that is pleased to come post, may see another leap in her uterus, and shall take it from her if he pleases, which will be a great satisfaction to the curious. If she had been with child, she has but 10 more days to go, so I do not know how many rabbits may be behind. I have brought the woman to Guildford for better convenience. John Howard.
Hang on, she was giving birth to live rabbits at this point?
There really aren't accounts of that, which is why it's so fucked up that he wrote it like this. I think he means like out of her vagina leapt another rabbit. Boom. Oh, there's another one. Oh, that's outright. Oh, here's another one.
Yeah, her vagina was just spitting out rabbits like ping pong balls. Yeah.
It's weird phrasing to, yeah, it's still fucked up.
We pulled one out and
There's another one. There's another one.
Another one. They got those legs. They're known for jumping. Watch out.
Except it's a vagina.
Yeah.
It's not a clown car. You know what I mean? It doesn't just
Apparently, this woman's uterus though was a fucking clown car. Jesus, all these rabbits,
full of rabbits.
all these animals.
It sounds like a butcher shop.
Yeah, yeah. She gave birth to an entire wet market. Yes.
Oh my god. So, this part is kind of just making a long part of it short. This brought in a good couple of more doctors and surgeons to come check stuff out. People did. People walked away believers. The king was like, listen, my dude, St. Andres that I sent, my surgeon, is like not really natively from the United Kingdom. So as much as he's cool and he's my surgeon and all, I'm going to send this other dude to also go check shit out. His name was Syriacus. But literally, if you look at the spelling of it, it looks like psoriasis. It's kind of weird. I don't know why someone would want that name.
Oddly enough, great skin. Beautiful skin.
Beautiful skin. He was a beautiful man. Beautiful man. So this guy, Syriacus, he goes to the lady. He's examining her. There's definitely no signs of pregnancy. But this guy was way more of a disbeliever than, the last guy just showed up and was like, haha, I think I'm a believer now. This new guy, he's like, I don't fucking, no way, she's not pregnant. This doesn't make sense. No one just like poops out any kind of like weird rabbit parts or cat parts or whatever's going to come out of this lady's body. It's not going to be animals. I don't believe this shit. So he goes out there. He's literally like, hand examinations. He's peeping out her parts, all that stuff. What he's seeing is that a lot of the time that he's watching her, she's always walking awkwardly. Like one would assume, like if someone was like full on pregnant, yeah, you might have a strange walk to you. She's no longer full on pregnant. She just keeps getting weird, rabbit pregnancies. I don't know what else to say. But he's saying that she's walking weird to the extent where it's almost like she's trying to keep her knees close together, as if she's afraid something's going to drop out of her.
Say a rabbit.
Boom! You just can't keep them suckers inside of her. Damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, God, if you're not careful, they just drop out.
So, granted, medical professionals maybe weren't what we consider medical professionals today. What were their assumptions other than this maternal impression?
Everyone that was like of higher stature, like with the government, the kingdom, the king, a lot of them would just go, they'd see it, and they'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, we're seeing this stuff come out of her. So finally, this guy, Syriacus, he talks to the local midwife who has been kind of like, we want you to see this and believe this, but I also don't want you to really like do the birth giving. Like, you're not a midwife. Like, you're a surgeon and all, but you're not a midwife. So he kept trying to keep him away, but there was one case, like, this guy...
That's how they said in the 17th century, 18th century, excuse me, keep your hands off her pussy. That's how they said that.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is my pussy, and you're not touching it.
Keep your hands off her.
I just imagine them coming out like just smushed together like a bag of Tyson meats. You know what I mean?
Or like your weed gummies last week.
Oh, where they all come attached, yeah.
They're all smushed together.
All the little babies are
unit.
attached.
Mm-hmm.
And just as fucked up.
Yeah.
So, the guy, the bigger, the more head surgeon that the king sent now, finally convinced him to be like, let me do this. Like, let me be the one that has my hands there. And apparently she cried out in such pain when he touched her that they made him stop, and he felt bad. So even though he still didn't believe it, he lied and wrote back to everyone like, I think we need to study this further.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he felt bad, literally, because like he went to do it and she screamed out in pain, and everyone at that area was like, oh god, you're hurting her. Let the normal dude get these rabbit parts out of her, because that's what's normal.
KY, he touched her pussy, she cried. That's probably a situation you can relate to. And he felt bad. That's what it was.
Yeah. Yep. She put that in the vows, was the don't touch me. So
We'll be married to you as long as you do not touch me. Yeah.
I don't know. It's clearly it's very convenient that she had all this magical pain when this guy actually tried to touch her. But I just keep thinking, like, he's a surgeon and they're like, oh, you don't know what you're doing, you know, you're not a midwife or anything. It's like, what do you do? Just fucking jam his fist up there? Like, doesn't fucking like he's you know, it can't. Like, he got to just look at the midwife and be like, how am I doing so much damage or difference than what you could
what this
possibly
guy's fucking
do?
doing? Yeah.
There are only so many options down here that we're gonna go through with getting the bits out. So,
well, and to some extent, you know, there is a lot of witnesses throughout all of these experiences who say that, like, not only when she was giving birth, but throughout this whole experience, she complained of pain more than any woman would normally complain, even up to the point. Like, I'm sure, like, when you're actually going through labor and giving birth, it's extremely painful. If you cut that bit of pain out and were to look at the rest of pregnancy, people would say that she cried out in pain and spoke of pain more often than any other women up to the point of labor.
Wow.
yeah, she was jamming rabbits up her pussy.
I was gonna
That's
say,
where
yeah.
the pain was from. Yeah, for sure. So that would be decidedly uncomfortable.
Puss full of rabbits. Yeah. Jesus.
Full of rabbits. That's my next band name.
Puss full
Dude,
of
next
rabbit.
T-shirt.
Mhm.
Next T-shirt. There we go.
Release the bunnies. Okay. This guy did some studies on the stuff that he had, some of the specimens and whatnot. He's like taking bits of what look like lungs, putting them in jars of water to see if they float, because that way you know that they've actually had air in them. Whereas if it was never actually given birth to and dead, as all these rabbit parts we are seeing, there would not be air in the lung of an unborn rabbit. But he's finding the lungs do float, which means that whatever this was in, however this happened, this had air in it, which usually means that something breathed, then died, and then there's air in the lungs to make it float.
So this was the same scientific test that they used for half-hanged Maggie that I used, the woman who was hanged in Scotland in the 1700s.
Oh yeah.
When because her child was stillborn, and they claimed that she killed her baby and threw it away and all this other stuff. So for more on that, check out our Halloween episode where I tell that story, among others that we all tell. But that is got to be a load of horse shit, because I was reading the logic behind it, and it just is nonsense. Now, I would say it's probably different here, because this lady is fucking killing cats and rabbits and jamming them up her puss. So, like,
Yeah.
I can't.
You
get
don't
over it.
know
I can't get
that.
past
You
it.
don't know that, KY. You don't know
It's
that.
true. That's true. And I've been so quiet, and I'm like, I'm not gonna. I can't. Once I
It's
start, I
called
can't
maternal impressions, KY.
stop. Mhm.
How dare you? How dare you?
Sean, you said that when the cool king guy, when he initially sent somebody down, that like nothing happened the first time, and all I could think of was it was like when someone says they have a haunting, and then their house isn't haunted the day that people are actually there. It's like, oh, there's no ghost today. It's like, boy, that's real fucking convenient. Man, that's convenient. Wow. Oh god. Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
But so as much as he is doing these tests and finding things that show like this can't be real, he is also eyewitnessing these things come out of this lady. So he's still doing tests, yada yada. He's coming to the point where he's kind of becoming vocal, and the first surgeon that was sent out, the first royal surgeon, Saint Andre, starts realizing that this dude's gonna down talk everything. And St. Andre is still like a firm believer. Like, this lady's fucking giving birth to weird rabbit shits. Like, where I don't want to get like disproven or made myself look like an ass. He's hooking up with this John Howard guy who was the midwife. They're trying to like use this to advance themselves in the medical world. In a preemptive move against the secondary surgeon, the Syriacus, St. Andre, the first guy, collects affidavits from multiple like legitimate witnesses, like the midwife and other people who were there, which in effect were able to cast doubt when the second surgeon comes back and he's like, I don't believe any of this shit. The first surgeon's like, well, I got all these affidavits, so you can suck a dick. Haha. So basically, all this does is keep pushing it on and on and on and on. There's like a whole bunch of other like kind of well-known, dignified surgeons and physicians who get involved until finally they're just like, will you bring this woman in? Like, she's got to come here. She's going to come into the royal area. We're going to fucking check her out here. So, during this time, she's literally gone through like, I think it's like 12 or 13 deliveries of rabbit parts, cat parts. When she gets there, she gives part to what someone suspected is a hog's bladder.
Who could tell that right out of the get-go? That's a hog's bladder.
Why, there's a hog's bladder. I've seen it a million times.
Yeah, how would you not differentiate that from other bladders? That's very interesting.
Some physician just rubbing it between his fingers. Yes, it's clearly a hog's bladder you got here. That's correct there, yes. I did this every day as a child. I did this. So this is quite right. That's quite the texture, yes.
When you got a hog, you'll find this bladder. This is quite sincerely a hog's bladder.
Like how we went British and then went right Southern.
Right
Well,
side.
that's the only accent I can do. What did she name these bladders in parts?
Oh, she did not name them. She definitely.
Fuck her then.
You're not supposed to really name something that's not even a lot. I mean, back in the day, they didn't even name kids until they were like 2 or 5 years old.
So how long was this happening at this point? Was this just like within the 9 months?
So really, she had her the first, the expulsion of lumps of flesh that was what, everyone saw her getting pregnant. She had this discharge of multiple lumps of flesh. And then it was about 3 weeks later that the first rabbit part delivery happened.
Wow.
So we're talking about like what I guess if we were to look at it and like, haha, people can't give birth to rabbit parts. We're seeing like a woman who had an actual miscarriage. Most likely everything that was in her was discharged. And then 3 weeks later, suddenly she's complaining of weird pain and delivers rabbit parts.
Maybe it was that rabbit I fucked.
I really wanted to anyway. I saw it run and it was graceful and furry and fuck, I wanted to fuck it. I think that's how she felt.
And just as a PSA, I know that was a wonderful late afternoon reenactment of how people feel when they want to fuck a rabbit. But don't fuck the rabbit. If you see the rabbit, don't fuck
the rabbit.
It's a family show. It's a family show.
It's a family show, primarily educational.
Parents, don't let your kids fuck rabbits. All right,
don't let your kids fuck rabbits. That's right.
Wait, so just to be clear, can you mind fuck rabbits still?
You can't. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
You could still maternal impression with rabbits all the time.
Gotcha.
What was that movie, The Men Who Stare at Goats? Is that what they're doing the whole time?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're mind fucking. They're mind fucking real hard.
Classic Clooney. God, the pervert.
Yeah, well, George Clooney is a man who has touched every fucking animal.
That's such a weird thing to say. I pet your dog. I pet your dog. I touch this squirrel. This giraffe is mine too.
I meant touch them sexually. He's a pervert. Take him out.
I just thought he liked petting animals. That's fine.
I read it online, so we know
it would have been fine. It would have been fine. Now it's been ruined. Now it's been ruined.
Ruined.
Speaking of ruined, the sensationalism of this story definitely was reaching out across the United Kingdom. By the time Mary Toft made it in, there were definitely publications very skeptical of this, but even still, rabbit stew and a meal known as jugged hare disappeared from most menus across the country. Because people were worried that they might be eating rabbit that came out of a lady.
Right.
Wow.
If one lady can do it, there's probably others. Shit, if I eat rabbit at the dinner table now, it's likely this came out of a woman.
Imagine just bitches out here just shitting out rabbits every fucking 3 seconds.
We live in a time where people believe many, many different things. Could you imagine being alive at this time in the UK where when you see a rabbit, you assume the source was it came out of a human lady? And people believe
I would
that.
assume, yeah.
To the point, they would no longer hunt rabbits. If you kill that rabbit, you are killing a person.
Isn't that what every vegetarian thinks?
Yeah. That's every vegan in the world.
Yeah, that's like such an odd, like, cultural thing of the time to say, hey, I really want some rabbit stew. Oh, you guys aren't serving it? Do you run out of rabbits? No, it could be a lady's kids.
No, it could be someone's kids.
What?
You fucking monster.
What?
Get out of here.
Yeah. Oh, God. Or they just don't want to eat pussy rabbits.
I
Either
don't.
way.
Yeah, a lot.
Either way,
I'm done with pussy
I
rabbits.
was hungry, not hungry anymore.
You know what? I'm all set. I'll have the chicken.
Pussy rabbits aren't necessarily completely off the table for me.
That's okay. That's the joke. There we go. Okay.
Yep, that's it.
Fuck you, KY.
Playboy bunnies. He's just thinking about Playboy bunnies. That's all.
I just see you, Justin, just sucking on little rabbits, like just. The outside's the best. Yum, yum, yum.
Oh God.
Never mind, that was a bad joke. Okay, I get it. Thank you. I have to rub it in my face.
We're reeling it back in. We're reeling it back in.
Here we go. We're reeling it back in.
Reeling it back in.
All right. Where are we at, Mr. Sean? We got off.
We have Saint Andre, the first surgeon, has officially been the champion of Mary Toft, bringing her to the courts, like eminent physicians and surgeons, including the nice gentleman that I quoted at the beginning, Mr. John Mowbray. I would like to bring up this guy just on the hot second on the side here, because not only of his just horrible quote earlier about thinking that men are just so much smarter than women, they obviously know how to help give birth than any woman ever could.
I mean, is it that horrible?
Our homeboy here, John Mowbray, he was definitely on like the Royal Court of Physicians and Surgeons. He was the foremost eminent pusher of maternal impression.
Okay. Well, that's
Potentially
how this
ever.
works. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah.
He has his own theory of maternal impressions happen often, and most women are seeing, their cat, their friend rabbit, their dog, their bird. Women are giving birth to fucking animal children all the time. These animal children are usually very, very small, and he gave them a name. They are called Suderkins.
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 Could you just spell that for me, real?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Suderkin, Sooterkin.
That's how I expected, and that is even worse.
Suderkin.
Animal person mix, I guess. Right?
Suderkin. Fun fact. The eponymous character in E.B. White's Stuart Little is a Suderkin.
Huh.
Oh, I see. So when you think like weird lady pussy baby, animal baby pussy thing, you think Stuart Little.
Yeah. Animal
Totally.
baby pussy thing equates to.
Stuart Little, he had human parents.
All right. What the fuck are we talking about?
All right, yeah. Coming back from
There we
Suderkins here. That was quite
Yeah.
a rabbit hole.
So okay, rabbit hole. So Stuart Little is a Suderkin technically. So you're talking animal with
Human parents.
human parents.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So in Stuart Little, did the mother give birth to the little red convertible too?
Yes. Yeah.
No, they just bought that for him. They
Oh,
just
okay.
bought
They
that
just
for
bought
him. Yeah.
That was a custom order.
I mean, I guess there's a way of getting out of any potential human pregnancy. It's just you'd have to show the gal you got pregnant animals, so it will turn into some type of maternal impression, and she will give birth to an animal.
Maybe you just show her a hot rod and she'll pop out a hot rod for a little mouse.
Mm-hmm.
I keep imagining the island of Dr. Moreau.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, really bad like
Splicing
animal
it all
prosthetics and
Ugh.
I read the book. The book's actually pretty fucking terrifying. So
Oh man, I was terrified of that movie as a kid, and I was like, man, I'm so scared. This is the scariest movie I've ever seen. Watched it as an adult, and I was like, this is kind of bad. This is weird. It's a fucked idea. It's a wild movie, but
I didn't know Val Kilmer could be so fat.
oh man,
got
love
worse.
Fat Val.
Yeah, Fat Val,
Love
Fat Val is he's a roommate you've had at some point in your life.
Batman started smoking and then got a sickness for the thickness.
That's how Sean describes his Lizzo obsession.
Hey, there is nothing wrong with that beautiful, beautiful woman.
Dude, she's prime, man. Sorry. Anyway,
All right, so okay, so to give a little bit of just month of the year flavor, she started popping out rabbit parts very early of a November, and by December 1st, she's in the Royal Courts area. She's only been there for like a day or two. She was able to pop out one or two more rabbit pieces, and like I said, that what could have been hog's bladder.
A hog's bladder.
It might have been a hog's bladder. It's starting getting to the point where they really want to start like poking and prodding deeper and really figuring stuff out. They want her under like 24-hour surveillance, yada yada this. On December 4th, for some reason, I don't know where he actually came from or why he's a part of the story, but the second Baron of Onslow was around and interested. Apparently just a lot of like nobility of the time were interested in the story of this lady, popping out rabbits.
Those rabbits come out of that pussy.
That's right. It's a prospector over here looking to find some rabbits popping out of a lady's vagina. God, I didn't know I had to walk so far.
I'm incredibly interested in the scenario where it's like, well, how many rabbits do you think you got up that puss today? And then she's like, maybe one or two. I don't know. And then pops out, maybe one. Right? They don't know each day. And she's just like, I got something up there. Check it out.
So anyway, the second Baron came into the picture and decided he's going to start investigating because, man, this sure is some weird stuff happening right here. This lady's got her own rabbit hole, it doesn't make much sense. He discovered, yeah, baby, you know what I'm doing over here. Thank you, big cat. Thank you, big cat. And this second Baron discovered that for the past month, even though he had been traveling, as a clothier does, her husband Joshua Toft had been buying young rabbits from a local coney garth.
Shocking.
Mm-hmm.
Shocking.
And the thread unravels, lady.
With just that, this guy thought that's all that I need. This is fucked. I'm gonna take this letter in and start writing shit. He wrote a letter that the fair had almost alarmed England.
Almost alarmed them.
Indeed.
The fuck does that mean?
We were thinking about being alarmed, but we weren't quite alarmed just yet. But you better watch it. You almost alarmed us.
Get 2 or 3 more rabbits out of that puss, then I'm gonna really be alarmed.
That's right. It makes me think of when you go to those exit doors and it says door alarmed, and then they should just have another one where it's like window frightened.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Justin hates the personification of inanimate objects. Can't stand it. I don't like it.
I had reason to be alarmed. This lady had a rabbit hole.
God damn it, in a rabbit hole.
So that same day that this guy found all this stuff, a porter at the very nice proper hotel that Mary Toft had been staying at, Porter confessed to the justice of the peace that he had been bribed by Toft's sister-in-law Margaret to sneak a rabbit into the bedroom of the lady. When arrested and questioned, Mary Toft denied the accusation, while Margaret, her sister-in-law, under interrogation, claimed that she had obtained the rabbit for eating only herself.
I can't imagine how that questioning goes. Like, excuse me, miss, you've been shoving rabbits up your puss hole the whole time? Why, I never.
Why would you assume such a thing? It's like, you've been giving birth to rabbits for like a month now.
Because your puss has been firing rabbit parts out. That's why.
Yeah.
Kapew, 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 kapew. So, anywho's, There's a third character in here who's just like his name's Manningham. He's just like the buck stops here. Yeah, Manningham is where the buck stops in the royal palace of physicians and surgeons. This guy was like the last disbeliever of this whole thing. He's in the courts. He's listening to everyone else acting like they're fucking idiots. He's like, listen, lady, you see these surgeries I've done where people lived? And she's like, yeah. He's like, I'm going to do this to you where I'm basically going to cut open your stomach and see what the fuck's going on inside of you. You will live through this. Don't worry. I got you, but we're going to need to check this out. That's when she just finally like gave up the ghost. Like, ha ha! Please don't cut into my cervix and my body.
In light of an 18th century surgeon asking to cut you open, I would definitely fucking drop the fig leaf too.
Yeah. My God.
The story goes that she had, after her actual miscarriage, and while her cervix permitted access, not going into the full details there.
What does it mean?
Apparently, shortly after something comes out of a pregnancy-related scenario, maybe there's just more accessibility to shove stuff in. That's what I'm getting out of what was explained here a few times over. It's just like, because she had just gave things out, they were able to, had an accomplice, not herself, an accomplice had inserted into her womb the claws and body of a cat and the head of a rabbit.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What is that, a Wednesday for these people?
Yeah.
Be serious.
Jesus.
Pick up whittling. Do something productive. Holy shit.
Make a failing podcast, you bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just stop shoving stuff up your puss, man. Come on, leave it.
You know what? I mean, but today, she would have a sterling career as a cam girl.
Oh, for sure.
Shoving
Yeah.
all kinds of things.
Yeah,
up.
definitely. There would be some premium camp content out of this thing. Yes.
Oh, God.
Join me tomorrow while I shove my prize tabby up my puss.
Freckles, no!
Meow. KY, imagine coming home and there's some woman squatting over Pepper, trying to shove her up.
If I saw that, I'd be like, lady, I never thought I'd say this, but please don't put my cat in your vagina. All right? Or I'm gonna have to get physical.
You're absolutely right. There are scenarios you're not 100% emotionally capable of handling, and that is absolutely one. If a woman is trying to shove your cat up her vagina.
Yeah.
All right, I think we ran this joke down to the ground. All right, what are we talking about?
All right, yeah. So we had Manningham, who was just not having it, telling her that, like, I'm going to get right on in there. So she gave up the ghost, so she definitely was not going to go down alone. She started pointing the finger at all kinds of accomplices. She was like, mother-in-law shoving stuff up in me. The midwife guy was shoving stuff up in me.
He definitely was. My
husband was shoving stuff up in me.
Snitches get bitches, or snitches get stitches.
Snitches get bitches.
Cut that.
Those guys
cut
are
that.
always getting tons of pussy.
Cut that.
Oh, not a chance, man.
But snitches do get bitches. Snitches do get bitches, yeah. That's a t-shirt.
Oh, God.
Snitches get bitches.
Is it like the soft horn thing?
It's the soft
Yes.
horn all over
It's going to
again.
stretch for the next 3 episodes.
Don't you snitch, man. You'll be drowned in pussy. Don't snitch. Don't snitch. Oh, my God. Well, I mean, I appreciate the fact that the moment she decided to come clean, that she was dragging every one of those fuckers down with her.
And she did also claim that after multiple iterations of other people putting stuff in her, that a traveling woman told her how to insert the rabbits into her body herself. So sometimes she did it alone.
This was apparently just a full service back in the 1700s.
So there's another woman out there with prior knowledge and experience.
Were you trying to get those rabbits up your puss? Let me give you some pointers.
Oh, hon, let me show you how to do
let
it.
me show you.
Definitely Midwest.
Oh, hon.
No, she said something very Midwestern-y, too. Like, the lady told her how to do it and then said, you could use this scheme and never want as long as you live.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
Okay.
I want to be that traveling lady. I'm just going to go around telling people how to shove stuff into themselves and telling them they'll be rich because of it.
Oh, hun, you want to make it big? Get yourself a nice camera, one of those smartphones. You know, you've seen those, yeah, one of those smartphones.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
then
yeah.
just jam that cat right in your pussy. Yeah. Just jam her up there, yeah, yeah, and you'll be surprised. You'll make hand over fist. It's impressive.
Hand over. Yeah, you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. You know what I mean?
It's true. It's true.
You give a traveling woman a cat and look the fuck out.
Yeah, you better look out. She's gonna find something to do with that cat, like your pussy.
No, you let a traveling woman give you a cat. Oh, now you better be looking
No, you better
out.
be looking out. Yeah.
Maybe you want your own cat the first time. You know, something familiar. Or a stranger.
Yeah.
So as she's making all these confessions and admissions, the authorities put a charge on her based on a statute of an earlier king, Edward III, known as a vile cheat and imposter.
We told you you're not allowed to stick cats up your pussy. This has already been a law for decades.
At least not to lie about it afterwards, all right? You're a vile cheat and imposter. It's one thing if you did it, it's another thing you told everyone it happened naturally. Now, damn it, that's a lie.
That's exactly right. It's part of. It was part of the Magna Carta. Don't stick cats up your pussy. That was the first line of the Magna Carta.
Do it.
When you read those documents.
It's the 11th Testament. Don't. The commandment.
Yeah,
11th
that's right.
commandment.
That's right. Yeah.
Thou
He told us.
shalt not put cats in your pussy.
So, following the hoax, there's a lot of people, all these high-up medical professionals who suddenly had a lot of the public was suddenly looking at the professionals with a skewed eye, like, whoa. You guys thought you knew what was happening? You didn't know what was happening, okay? A lot of well-known satiricists of the time, newspapers, media, literature, all came about because of this shit, making fun of both the doctors and just like all of everybody just being fucking idiots believing in this shit. So I would like to just share with you guys this picture, and I will describe it very well, just so you can see this, though. This is one of the most well-known pictures here of people making fun of it after the fact. The lady Mary Toft is laying on an open bed. A female nurse perhaps is next to her holding her arm, just giving support. Some dude looks to be yodeling over this lady. At her foot is a man with very long hair, wig, having his hand reached up into where her vagina would be.
And he's also got jacked forearms. Super jacked
Oh,
forearms.
yeah.
I was gonna say he's got Popeye arms.
Because he be popping out kids all the time. What else do you do?
That guy, he's about to go hit freaking every fucking home run on the
He's gonna
planet.
heave up babies all day, every day, up out of ladies.
And has a shake weight at home. I fucking
Oh,
know it.
definitely a
That's
shake
true.
weight man. Yeah.
But as you can see behind this guy who's delivering the babies, there's like 4 dudes all looking in different directions. Some are looking like they're holding cups of tea, just chatting and having a good time.
As you do when you're British. Tea every
Oh,
time.
this lady's giving birth to all these little rabbit parts. Isn't that fine, George? Yes. Oh, Charles, this is strange, isn't it? Yes, indeed. Sip, sip.
I do like how in the picture there's like one decapitated rabbit.
Yeah, they tried to go in on some of the graphic details here. There's some decapitated. Others just kind of look like they're just apathetic to the situation.
Yes,
I don't want to be birthed by a woman.
Well, I don't know. Is everything on the ground stuff that came from her? One looks like a banana peel, another looks like a hair bonnet package. Like,
Well,
did
in
everything
this
come out of
story,
her?
yes, I assume it all came out of her. Yes, she gave birth to inanimate objects.
Ryan is right. Those rabbits look like they just don't give a fuck to be there. Maybe it's because they were asphyxiated in this lady's giant vagina.
Yeah, they had been completely choked out. So they're dead. They still don't care, even after death. Yes.
I don't give a fuck. But so in the aftermath of all this, there was just a whole lot of public mockery. People in the newspapers writing stuff in. A lot of people were like, actually, a lot of people were not angry at her, but of course, a lot of the medical professionals and authorities were rather upset because they had been made a fool of. So really, the fun thing is that where'd it fucking go? Mary herself walked away scot-free.
Wow.
Really?
Yep.
After all those bunny murders, nothing. Huh.
Yep. There was
Disappointing.
a whole lot of bunny murders. There was a whole lot of just crazy biz. The midwife who originally might or may not have played a strong part in putting things into this lady's puss, he was fined 800 pounds, which of today would be equivalent to 120,000 pounds.
Wow, yeah, that's a ton of money.
That's a lot of
Holy
money.
shit.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, here you go. Went back and kept practicing his practice for another 30 years until he died.
No penalties taken whatsoever. That's the moral of this story. You can murder all the rabbits you can with your vagina. No fucking penalty whatsoever.
Yeah, you're fine.
You know, there's a lot of people who, like, looking back and trying to analyze it, they just said that this kind of stuff is symbolic of the age, and just like the general times and area of the United Kingdom. Just a lot of greedy, corrupt, deceitful people looking to gain fame, money, whatever way they got to do it.
Fraudster, con people as much as you can. Yeah.
So yeah, actually, and just so everyone knows, as we heard, Mary was in a lot of pain towards these last few deliveries of stuffing stuff up inside her, or having other people stuff stuff up inside her and then popping that stuff out. She was starting to get some weird colorings around her midsection. Sometimes some weird lumps would form that would then later go away. But just so everyone knows that Mary had a nice story afterwards where she went home. Her husband, who didn't mind having her have all these animal part stuff inside her puss, got back up in there, popped another kid in, and she popped another kid out, and they had a total of 4 kids after that.
So she got pregnant and had another child after
Okay,
this.
so after the abuse
Yes.
she just put her entire reproductive system through, it still worked, and she was able to have another child.
Yes.
Crazy.
I mean, clearly something happened when she had a miscarriage, and that's brutal, right? There's no joke there, none of that. But she had some kind of mental break, and for some reason she got a lot of people to sign on to it. Can't speak to why, but something happened. It just seems like, maybe getting right back on that horse again and just skipping the rabbits in your vagina part. I can't. You don't know someone's journey, and I don't want to throw all that shit out there, but it's like, had you just taken some time, mourned your loss, been sad about it, and then you guys started trying again, you skip all this rabbit pussy business, and just have another child.
You could have just not caused a bunch of damage to your pussy or killed all those rabbits. You could have just had another fucking kid.
Yeah, just have another kid. Get back on that horse.
Moral of the story is mourn like a sane, reasonable person. Don't stick rabbits up your puss.
Yeah.
And have more kids.
Definitely don't stick animals up your puss. If you're listening to this, don't stick animals up your puss.
No.
Please.
You know what? And
that's solid.
And that goes for you too, guys. Don't be sticking
that's
rabbits
right.
up your ass.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do
it.
Don't stick the animals up your ass.
Or in anyone else, in any orifice, really.
Yeah, really in any orifice. Yeah.
Let's agree to keep the animals out of the orify and just
That's true.
leave it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be cool about it. Actually, that's not true because we do want to eat them.
We do want to eat them.
Yeah.
We do want to eat them. Not just after birth, but after being cooked.
Definitely after they're being
Yeah.
cooked.
There's only one hole you could put that rabbit into after you've cooked it.
Mhm.
And that's not your vagina, ladies.
It's not.
That's true.
not.
It's true.
No.
Don't do it.
It's not.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think we would have to spell out how to put an animal in your body to people, but here we are.
This is well, and I'm glad, honestly, I'm glad we took the initiative to make the PSA about not putting
That's right.
animals in
I'm
your
glad
body.
we could educate.
Mhm.
I'm glad we could
'Cause this is
educate.
education.
Absolutely.
You know what? What's crazy is around the time she is shitting rabbits out of her vagina, Tiare is just across the strait there, shoving whole babies into his mouth.
Yeah.
Man, if she could catapult him out of there, into him,
his mouth, just across the English Channel. Yeah.
man, they'd be a couple happy customers.
they
Holy
would.
shit.
If you want to listen to the Atari episode, come find us at our website, lesserthanpeople.com. Listen to us on Spotify, on iTunes, Podbay, Owlcast, Backtracks, anywhere that you can stream podcasts, you can find us. Hit us up on our Facebook page, Less Than People Podcast. Drop us a line if you want us to do a story on someone that you think's wild and crazy. We'll absolutely do it. We'll give you a shout out when we do it.
That's exactly right. If you don't want to hear another animal pussy story, you can tell us who you want us to do, and we'll gladly do it.
Yeah, also, we were like trending the other day, so get these requests are lining up. So just get it in.
Yeah.
Get it in first. Get it in quick, because we're kind of a big deal.
We're getting big.
I don't know if you guys knew that.
Kind of a big deal, guys.
Yeah. You got to get it in there to us if you want to know, because we're putting stuff in us. Animal parts.
We are putting animal parts in us. Yeah, there we go. Every day.